Hello and welcome to episode 47 of the Focus on Gaming podcast. My name is Duncan.
And I'm Tom.
There you go. And tonight we are recording as it's a busy week for game reveals. We've just watched the Xbox show, and there's also been the Summer Games Fest and a few others. So we're going to go through a lot of the reveals and some of our favourite games, some of the big names, and hopefully
there's a lot to talk about.
Find some gems and probably disagree about what is gems and what isn't gems. Do you think? Do you think we'll agree completely?
Never. We've already
well,
been
I'm afraid
debating.
there's no new Amstrad games announced. No, well, let's start. I think we should start with obviously I am the Xbox person in the podcast, so we'll start with probably a pretty big announcement. I didn't know it was coming. Doom. There's a new Doom game. I heard it, but it's called Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah.
No date, so when it's coming out, we don't know. But yes, did you see the trailer?
I did, and it looks absolutely fantastic. In fact,
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I know you've got like Doom 3 and various other things on all the different digital platforms, but this one really does make me go, ooh. So.
Yeah, I mean, I like Doom 2016 version. Doom Eternal, yeah, the platforming did ruin it a bit for me, but still very good. But Doom from 2016, a fantastic game, works so well on the Steam Deck. But what it's like a medieval, but still with guns, with transforming guns that have skulls in them and shields that fly out and chop heads off, and shotguns. Still got the shotgun, obviously.
Yeah,
can't have Doom without the shotgun. And it looked beautiful. All the blood and guts flying,
as always.
But, so hopefully. They didn't put a date, so could be probably 2025.
Yeah, and there's a dragon to ride in it as well. Just a good
yes, there was flying, wasn't there? Yes. Ooh.
Very exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
And a Doom guy was sort of weird, like medieval style Doom guy, but still you could tell it was Doom guy.
Reminded me of Halo a little bit.
A little bit. Imagine if Chivalry, Halo, and Doom had a baby, and that was about it. With a little bit Captain America in it, with a flying shield.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll give us a date soon. When that'll be, look out for that in the next few years. Now, another one that was announced, I think the name change was announced, is Dragon Age. I don't know if you're a Dragon Age fan.
I'm not really. No.
Have you played all of them? I mean, this would be.
I haven't. I will be honest. I haven't played all of them. But I will get to them.
This was called, I believe it was called Dragon Age Dreadwolf, but now they've changed the name or announced that the actual name is the Veil Guard, and I think I prefer Dreadwolf. But still, it looks like they've tried to make it a little bit humorous, maybe a little bit cartoony. Don't know if I like that, but I loved the first two, and the third one was okay. Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad. It just, it was a bit, it wasn't as engaging as, but there were some great characters in it, and you could romance. So if they can make it as good as the first two with modern bits, I'm very much looking forward to that.
Speaking of third versions, State of Decay 3.
Yes,
that looked fantastic.
Well, it was. We only got cinematic, didn't we?
We did.
Although I think they might have there was some in-game footage or something somewhere. I don't know where that was. But yeah, it was announced like 4 years ago or something like that. The first, this third one, and it's just gone quiet. So fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, I loved the first one. Absolutely loved it. It just came from nowhere and it was a bit janky. but it was from a small studio and it was really good. Yeah, loved it. The second one was okay, but they tried to make it more of a long, like, rogue game kind of thing, or whatever you call them.
I'm hoping for some multiplayer action, like
the
action on the local console. That'd be quite good.
Yeah, split screen would be great. I mean, the second one did have multiplayer. It was a bit janky. I remember having crashes and being kicked out of multiplayer games, and they had like a horde mode that was okay. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully, the satisfying killing zombies and killing the zombie hearts or whatever they were in the buildings. It was always good fun. Resource management, this kind of thing. So yeah, the State of Decay 3, very, very much looking forward to that. And again, no date. So well, hopefully we're going to see that within 12 months. Yeah. Have you played either of the first two?
I played the first one and loved it, but no, I haven't played the second.
So I think the first one was just on Xbox. I think the first one was multi-platform. I think, wasn't it?
I don't know what I played it on. I had, because obviously, I'm like, back then I had everything, so it was. I could play it on. I'm not sure.
It definitely wasn't the DS.
It wasn't the DS.
That much.
No, or the PS.
But obviously, it's an Xbox game studio game now. Then we had Starfield DLC. That hasn't got a date for the DLC. I think it was 2024. But they have got an update which has the creation kit and all of the such things in the game, and that's happened on the 9th tonight. So if you play in Starfield, update, and you'll get a load of stuff. Apparently, it's got new locations and all this kind of thing. So fingers crossed.
Rumors are that it's coming out on PlayStation.
Yes, highly likely. I think. I think they are changing their mind about that with big franchises. I think if they go to a thing like PlayStation does with some of their exclusives that aren't first party, I think that'll be good. I think if Xbox has them for a year on Xbox and PC, and then go, yeah, you can have it now.
I think that serves two purposes. One, it serves a purpose to almost devalue the PlayStation brand by saying, here's our cast off 6 months down the line. The other side of it is it's going to make money, and that's what they need to keep Game Pass going where they want it to go. So, I mean,
Microsoft, at the end of the day, they are the most valuable company in the world, but they have got shareholders that want an increase in sales.
Yeah.
Hence why we no longer have Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks. Rather unfortunate, but yeah, that's what we have nowadays. Do you remember there was another trailer? There was one called South of Midnight. I think we saw this at their previous game showcase, which I want to say it was January, but it's like it's the one with it had like a swamp monster and a big gator that had almost a forest on its back. But it looked beautiful game. I can't remember who it's by, but it's basically, I think, set in America or something, and there's a talking fish swamp thing that this woman's riding on, and then she rings a bell in a church to get this giant gator to chase after her. That looks interesting. I'll keep an eye on that one. I think because if I remember rightly, it's by what was it? The game? It was by a developer who's done something that I wasn't particularly fond of. I really want to know what it is now, but I'll find that out in a bit. Anyway, don't worry. Another big one, well, probably the biggest one, I think, for me in terms of a lot of people, was Perfect Dark. Now, it's weird because Perfect Dark obviously was Nintendo, wasn't it? Originally, it was N64.
It was,
but because it was Rare, and then obviously Microsoft bought Rare. You had Perfect Dark on the Xbox 360, and then nothing since. And this was the first gameplay trailer. It was like a desert city, and she airdrops in, and very much choose whether you stealth enter or just shoot things. I think that kind of stealth them up, but it looks pretty. Looks
very
like
Assassin's Creed, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it reminds me of Dishonored a bit. Dishonored were both very good, but obviously they are those. They're not. Yeah,
I think it looks good. I'm going to be honest. I think it's not a game for me, but it does look good. No, I think it's.
I think it will all depend on whether it's good story or not. Because Perfect Dark, I think the original, going back to the N64, did have multiplayer, but it was known for being a good single player experience. Whereas the GoldenEye, I think the single player experience was okay, but people remember it for the multiplayer. So I think it will all focus on the story. And for me, my focus is on the story. If it has multiplayer and it's good, okay, so be it. But that will be a day one Game Pass as well.
Yeah. We have Atomfall, the post-apocalyptic.
Yes, it was almost like Fallout in Britain, which we have got. Apparently, a Fallout London day is coming. Sorry, going completely off tangent. That was delayed, but Fallout London, a new date is coming. But Atomfall. It starts with like a little British village, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then went all weird and supernaturally, and or
castles and all sorts,
zombies and. Magic
maybe. Really interesting.
It looked interesting. We're British, so we're like, hey, look, it's like a nice little British village.
Yeah.
It was like when Forza Horizon was in Britain. It was like, yeah, this is the best Forza Horizon ever.
It's one what I think I will look out for. Again, I'm not very story orientated in games. I just like to get on with it, but. It's interesting, and I liked also Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl.
Yes, it's been long in the making, mostly because they're a Ukrainian. It was delayed anyway, but then with the war in Ukraine, I think the whole studio had to move and is now in another.
It's in Microsoft's heartland,
European. Well, Stalker 1 must be at least 20 something years old.
Easily.
It's very bleak, isn't it? I don't know. Have you played any of the Metro games?
I have. Yeah.
And again, very bleak games, but brilliant games. Although I never completed Exodus, it didn't really grab me as much.
I've never completed any of them.
I completed 23 and Last Light because 2033. I mean, it's got a really engrossing story. It's basically there's I want to say like shadow creature aliens thing, and you have a choice at the end. You can either kill them or don't kill them, because they turns out that they're just. It's like looking for a home or something. I can't remember the story now, but still, Stalker again looks like it's got some supernatural.
Yeah, there's a bit of that in there,
and very dark, grey, but the graphics were absolutely fantastic. They've definitely made that look. The bleakness looked very good.
And Gears of War is back.
Yes, this one was this one was heavily rumored. I'd heard it was, but what I didn't realize it's a prequel. because I was watching Marcus Phoenix chop off her head and have brains of a locust all over the floor with my 6-year-old son.
Amazing.
So I just had to sit there with my hand over his eyes, going, "I think there's going to be some blood and guts in this one, so I'll just cover you." So yeah, but it's a prequel. So and he said, "Oh, what's E Day?" And I believe it's Emergence Day, which is when the locust first emerged. So in the trailer was Marcus Phoenix, the main big guy. They somebody ate my strawberries, or whatever it is he says in the last one. And I think the other guy was Dom Santiago. So there most likely will be a lot of the characters from the other Gears, even ones that have died, because this is a prequel. So yeah, I mean, I didn't particularly enjoy Gears 5 because it wasn't open world really. It was just a load of levels just dotted around a big map. So yeah, and I've never been one to do a lot of the Gears multiplayer. So I'm hoping that they go back to a more linear story mode, because I want a story with some shooting. I want to chainsaw some locust heads off.
And what did you think to Age of Mythology Retold? I mean, obviously, this is an old 2000 game, which I loved.
And see, Age of Empires, and you got what was the Star Wars one? Galactic Battlegrounds, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a great
game. And out of all of them, this one was possibly one of my favourite RTSs of the, I want to say late 90s, early 2000s?
2002.
2002, there you go. Yeah, and it was great fun because you could have, an army of centaurs against a minotaur against, like a Viking god kind of thing.
That's right.
And it was really good. It was really well balanced, and it was accessible because some of these RTSs you get tutorial level, and then it just suddenly gets really hard. And Age of Mythology, I remember getting quite far into it and thinking, "Oh, this is quite nice," and didn't feel the need to cheat, which I did in all the Age of Empires. I don't think I've ever completed an Age of Empires story mode without cheating. Getting the laser car or the monkey there was a monkey in one of them that you could get that shot lasers or something out of it. But no, Age of Mythology, if it's just the same game but with modern graphics or slightly modern graphics, should be good.
Speaking of the same type of game, we spoke about this on a few episodes about Battle of Middle-earth 2. He's getting a fan remake called Battle of Middle-earth Reforged.
That's Warner Brothers and Lord of the Rings.
It was EA
rights holders. So and EA. So I wonder how long until that gets shut down.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been in the works.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But the thing is, when they're making it, someone can make something as much as they like. But as soon as they make it publicly available, they'll go, no.
This is the thing. So when it comes out, boys and girls, download it fast. So
I mean, this is the thing. If EA just contacts them and go, look, that's fine. We don't mind, but you can't give it away for free. So how's about we come to some arrangement? Whether we check that it's okay and we check that it's done and we get a studio to help you. And then, these volunteers can all do the work and they can actually sell it, or I don't know how it works, all this stuff, but just going, no, this thing that people want. No.
Well, apparently it's going to be a 4K, everything updated, new game engine. It's a fan, a team of fans that are doing it. So it's going to be a long time before it comes out, but still very excited. So
yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. I mean, there's been so many things that have been shut down recently. But it's then again, it's not it's not a bad graph in terms of you're not looking at you're not talking late 90s kind of graphics. It's I want to say 2010 kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, Battle for Middle-earth 2 and the Witch King expansion still stands up really well today.
Yeah,
and
so
some of the newer maps and characters that people have been doing that you can download are amazing. I mean, the official servers are offline, but you can access it through various other
you can normally get mods that allow LAN.
Tungle
sort
and
of,
other places like that allow you to. They've got their own servers, but
you emulate a LAN or something like that.
yeah. But
fingers crossed. I mean, it's all about how they go about these things generally and who they go up against. If you're going to remake a Nintendo first-party game, you're going to get shut down.
That's it.
The problem with this one is that you have got Warner Brothers, you have got EA, you've got the people who own the Lords of Ring, the Tolkien estate. And all it takes is for one of them to go, no thanks, we sell that there. And it might be EA that goes, no, we're still selling that, thanks. And Warner Brothers go, oh, yeah, we still get 50 grand a year from that game. And they go, oh, all right.
Well, Battle for Middle-earth 2 is still holding its price. I mean, you go in CEX or any of those places, you're talking £20 to buy that.
Is it available on Steam?
Yes. Impossible to play, I might add, on the Steam Deck. But, it's still available.
So Battle for Middle-earth. And nope, doesn't look like it.
Oh, it was available.
It probably possibly was, but it's probably been removed, especially if there are issues with playing it.
Maybe.
It's probably if you bought it, you can probably still download it. I mean, you can still get Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Hobbit, Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth, whatever the hell that is.
Oh, it was removed and replaced by something else.
Middle-earth, the Shadow Bundle, whatever that is. I presume that's Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of Earth.
But
I've got both of them.
CD keys have it.
I've got Middle of the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War in my library. I've never completed Shadow of War. I completed Shadow of Mordor when it first came out. That's a good game. Anyway, so that's really diverged for a bit.
Going back a bit.
There wasn't just the Xbox one. So they have had some other announcements. Mega exciting for some people, and not really for me. Harry Potter Quidditch World Champions, or whatever it was. Are you in any shape or form interested in that?
No.
I like Harry Potter, and I've been to Harry Potter World and all that kind of thing, and my son loves it. But in terms of this, a Quidditch game, nah. There was a very simple one, I think on the PS2, I want to say.
That's right.
And it was terrible. And they're not going to add much to the game, really, are they?
No.
It's Quidditch. It's going to be.
I really do want to play, and I still haven't played it, the Hogwarts Legacy game.
Oh, see, if you had Xbox, we could game share, and you'd have it.
Well, my son has it at his mum's, and I am going to be borrowing it. So
it's a good game. It's a really good game, and it looks beautiful. It plays well. The battling is sort of like a rock paper scissors kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, so when they've got a red aura around them, you've got to have a blue attack, and when they've got a blue aura around them, you've got to have a yellow attack kind of thing, and all this. But yeah, so you can decorate your room that you get and whatnot. There's lots of things that unlock as you go through it, and then there is a little bit of grinding, but the story's okay. As I said, the graphics are great. It's it hasn't got much replayability, but unless you're going to decorate things a bit differently, but no, it's a fun game. Yeah,
a game I'm very much looking forward to is Shadow of the Colossus, which is a VR game. I think it was announced
Hang on,
last.
Shadow of the Colossus was a PS2 game.
Yes,
But I know the one you mean. It's yes. I did see it. It was what was it called?
it's a new
I don't know,
one.
VR Shadow of the Colossus. Oh, Behemoth. Behemoth, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That looks good.
It's described as Shadow of the Colossus VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it can come anywhere near to how good Shadow of the Colossus is, very good. I mean, did you ever play that on PS2?
I didn't.
It was basically all you got. I think there was something like 10 colossuses. Whatever. There were 10 very big things, and each of them had a different way how you had to defeat them. I mean, it turns out at the end of if you want to have me completely ruin the story for you, turns out that they were all goodies, and you were working for the baddie, and you killed all these colossi who were not doing anybody any harm. There you go. Delightful story.
Well, I think it sounds really good. I mean, you have these massive.
I mean, on PlayStation 2,
to climb and slay, and
PlayStation 2, it was an absolutely astounding game. So if they could get even 50% of how good it felt, Shadow of the Colossus, then they will do quite well. Yeah.
And are you excited about Alien Rogue Incursion on the Quest?
Yeah. Will I crap myself?
Yeah. So essentially, you're in the Aliens universe,
Excellent.
and you've got your little bleeping scanner, and it's all misty and dark and whatever, and you're being chased by aliens, and lots of them. And the idea is to evade rather than shoot. It looks pretty damn cool. It's coming out this year around Christmas time, and it looks very exciting and very, very scary.
Well, I mean, your VR, that was in the Summer Games Fest as well. Batman Arkham Shadow. It's looking good. It's by a company that have done good VR experiences games before, and I think they're working alongside Rocksteady, I want to say. So yeah, it's looking pretty good for a proper Batman game, as opposed to an experience or just not a very good game.
Yeah, and obviously Zombie Army is coming to VR as well, which was
the Zombie Army, like the trilogy kind of game.
Yeah.
They're good. They're basically horde mode with zombies, and I like them. I can imagine that would be a little bit terrifying.
One for your birthday.
Well, it won't be terrifying if you're good at it because they'll all be far away. But yeah, if you're average like myself, then probably not. So I mean there was a couple of VR games, but I can't remember what they were called. But other than the Batman VR game, So was the Alien one at Summer Games Fest? Have they released any more videos for it?
There has been a couple of extra trailers released. I mean, I'm very much looking forward to that game. So
is it more of a your Alien Isolation hide kind of game, or is it aliens with the guns kind of thing?
It's a bit of both.
Okay.
So
no, I haven't got my gun. I've got to hide. Oh look, I've got my gun. Let's blow them to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, I think it's very
game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, I think it's very much something that if you like the Alien movies, you'll enjoy playing a lot. So.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of Alien Isolations. I mean, it was a good game, but a lot of its really positive reception was because it had the aesthetic of the first movie. You know, you got to go on the Nostromo.
Yeah.
It had the sort of very 70s style spaceships. So yeah, and if they can get that 80s, 1980s aliens feel to it, it was a lot more industrial. I think the second one, and yeah, it was fantastic film. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Any other games that you from the Xbox one, or do you want me to ask you if you're excited about any of the Summer Games Fest ones I've noted about?
Well, I'm going to have a moan because
Oh no,
I do like
us moan.
Yeah, so I know people like this game and all of its previous versions, but enough is enough, Konami. Let's just give it a miss. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater is coming out at some stage.
Yeah. Well, this isn't Kojima, is it? So
no,
I don't know about you, but it just looked like Metal Gear Solid 3, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just done with it, and I think you're flogging a dead horse. So there's just not. But hey, there will be people that love it and play it. But
I think Kojima will be sitting at home and he'll be torn because one part of him will be going, that's my baby. You're ruining it. But on the other hand, he'll be like, you haven't got me doing it, so it won't be crazy like I do. Because he does do crazy games. Crazy, but crazy games.
So what was your favourite announcement of the Xbox?
The Xbox one. You see, there were some games that I'm looking forward to a lot, but the fact that there was just a cinematic trailer, like Fable, there was another cinematic trailer with a little bit of gameplay kind of in it. I'm very much looking to Fable. That is 2025 though, and it wasn't much of a reveal. Indiana Jones, I was very much looking forward to that, but some of the gameplay that was actually in the previous trailer looked a bit jank. Looked a bit of a Bethesda jank in there.
That's your word of the podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit janky. Yeah, it was. So, games that coming out this year that I'm looking forward to. See, Dragon Age. I'm torn between Dragon Age, Avowed, which is the Obsidian RPG, which very much that trailer was about choices, and you can choose to be, I think, the baddie or the goodie. But then I do like a good story, and there was another Life is Strange, and it's still got Max Caulfield from the original Life is Strange. So if I had to pick one that I will probably play to death, it's probably Avowed. Very bright and colourful. It'll have a good story, hopefully, because it's Obsidian. I love things like the Outer Worlds. I love Fallout New Vegas. And yeah, Avowed looks really good. Very colourful.
I would say mine is Doom, one of mine is Doom, which I'm really looking forward to.
That's it. Yeah, as I said, that's probably it's a game that I'm very much looking forward to, but
it's nothing we haven't seen before.
There's no date. There's no date for it. And I'm like, I'm not going to get excited. It's like GTA 6, isn't it? I ain't going to get excited for something that's at least 2 years away.
The other one I'm really looking forward to is Mixtape, which is
that
animation. Yeah,
it's Annapurna Interactive.
That's it.
So it's a narrative, 80s, 90s. I think like teenage angst kind of story.
Yeah, bit of skateboarding, bit of music.
Yeah, the music. Oh my god, the music! It had like Joy Division, Iggy Pop. It looked like it'd be really good. a really good story, a really good soundtrack. Yeah. And all we're going to find out is what the interaction is, kind of. Or is it just go from one place to another, talk? Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, no, I totally agree that it has the same animation style, like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that the South of Midnight had as well. It's like, I can't remember what it is. It's like 22 frames per second or something. But again, backgrounds, very good looking backgrounds. But yeah, no, it's Annapurna Interactive, well known for their narrative adventures and story games. So I'm very much a fan of them. But equally, it'll be one that will probably be released for £40, and then you'll be able to get for £10 within 3 months. Unfortunately, but yeah, hopefully they make their money on it. Yeah, there was a few story-based ones. There was a few Soulsborne games that I think Martin probably would have been more a fan of, not us. There was one that was Nothing Is Forever, which is one where there was like a monster, like a horror-style monster on top of a pile of bodies. Great cinematic, but then when the gameplay started, I thought, oh yeah, this is a Soulsborne. So I ain't gonna like it. I mean, so many games, and we haven't talked about loads of them yet. Outside of the Games Fest, I will let you know. One that I am looking forward to that I possibly will play. This wasn't in the Xbox one. Is Star Wars Outlaws.
Yes,
we got a date, August the 30th, so not far away. Yay!
Looks good. I hope it's not going to be throwaway like some of the more recent ones.
Yeah, it's Ubisoft. So for those that don't like your Far Cries, your Assassin's Creeds, it possibly is going to be more of that kind of thing. But then they've had some really good games recently. What was that? The one that was a bit like Zelda, Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
Yeah,
that was a fantastic game, puzzle, hack and slash, climbing game. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. And I do enjoy the Far Cry and the Assassin's Creed collectathons where you got thousands of things on the map and you can just pick loads of them up. And I like that because generally they're quite easy as well.
I'm really, really looking forward to, and I'm not a big fan of this type of game, but aside from Lord of the Rings, Lego Horizons Adventures.
Yeah, have you played the Horizon Zero Dawn game?
I have, yeah, and it was beautiful. Very much on the rails. It was a tech demo.
I mean, hang on. Are we talking about the same Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah.
It's an open world though. It's not on rails.
Well, what I mean by that is that you were very much structured to.
Oh yeah, I mean they
do this, do that.
Yeah, they direct you to where you've got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got it on PC, so I've played it on Steam Deck, and it runs beautifully on Steam Deck. And I, can't fault it for how well it works. I've started it about 3 times, and I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is, or whether it's just not for me. But yeah, I don't know. Can't get into it. So a Lego one, and it. I don't know about you, but if you saw the trailer for it, it was very much like it's a new generation of Lego game.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It's gone beyond just looking like nice pieces of Lego.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get a lot of Lego releases from this as well. I think they're going to start something with this, but
this isn't. I don't believe this is coming to Xbox either. I'm sure it said something. I'm sure it said something like coming to PlayStation and Switch. I'll have another little look, but
I think it will come there eventually.
here we go. There's a picture of it. I'm thinking notes. Lego Horizon. It will arrive on PC, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch during holiday 2024. There you go.
Well, we shall see. I think we will see it on Game Pass at some point, but they don't make much money on Game Pass.
The thing is, this is licensed Sony IP, so although why put it on Switch then?
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to come on Game Pass. I think it's inevitable.
What? Sony IP?
Yeah, we get an Xbox IP on PlayStation.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe. I think that would be up to Lego to arrange before they started making the game. So it all depends on how much Sony has paid, I suppose.
Well, I suppose, yeah. So what
do you
think?
We'll give you 50p. Okay, then I'll release it everywhere.
That's it. Yeah. What do you think of the refresh of the Xbox consoles? You got the diskless versions and the increased storage. So, as I understand it, the Xbox X is getting a completely Series X.
There's going to be two Series X. There'll be a diskless one, so it'll be the Series X internals, but without a disc. I presume cheaper. And then you're getting a new Series X disc version, which has 2 terabytes of storage, and the Series S will have 1 terabyte instead of the half terabyte that it's currently got. There is already a 1 terabyte Series S, but it's the black one. But now it'll be the one terabyte will be standard.
Yeah.
I mean the new 2 terabyte one looks pretty. It's got a green base and green speckles all over it, and it comes with a black controller with a green backplate,
which will be $600. There we go.
Okay.
So probably 800 in the UK. I'm joking.
The 2 terabyte is going to be $600 or £649 euros. Sorry. I mean the Series X 1 terabyte digital, €499. So I could see it being £450. Normally, if it costs $1, it costs £1. That's a good rule generally. Although obviously the dollar is, I think, 130 to the pound.
I think the Xbox dashboard's getting a refresh as well later this year. So
bring back the blades.
But we were debating this, weren't we, before we started recording today? And I mean, I think they're flogging a dead horse with, anything related to the console side of the Xbox. They haven't won for God. How many generations now? 3 generations?
The Xbox 360 was the last one they sort of won, but although PlayStation 3 has actually sold more.
It was out for longer, though, wasn't it? That's why.
And, I think it's because it just caught up. But yeah, I mean, I think the fact that these are going to be what is available, I think that you're not going to have what's currently available. I think they're going to phase out what's currently available, and all they've done is they're making exactly the same thing, just with bigger storage and one without a drive. Which, to be honest, if I didn't have one, I probably would go for the digital. But I do have a Series X that I got for £450 when it came out, and so why would I pay £450 if it is £450 or more for a digital only disc one? Yeah.
On the upside, the older versions will drop in price.
They would eventually sell it off. I mean, they've had so many offers though. You've been able to get a Series S for at least in this country for £150 sometimes. And it for that price, it's such a good piece of kit.
Yeah.
It's there's people saying, oh yeah, but you won't get 1080p even in some games. Like, but you're getting that for £150.
But I think with this generation, interestingly, you say about that, because PlayStation have just removed the 8K wording off their boxing
I saw that.
for the PlayStation 5. So I think this generation promised a lot and hasn't managed to achieve what it said at the beginning, which is fine. It's not a problem. And obviously, I think you're going to have the PlayStation 5 Pro coming out next year.
At some point, yeah.
The Switch 2. And obviously these new versions of the Xbox. And obviously everyone was hoping that there was going to be the Xbox handheld that was announced today. It hasn't happened. There was a slight leak. There was a roadmap shown, which we did post on our Facebook group. And there is a device that showed on there, a handheld device. Whether it's true or not, who knows? I mean, it is a rumor. But essentially, you'd be able to do what the Steam Deck does and play your games on the device as well as stream. There is a market there, and perhaps more so than the console market. So an appropriately priced device, I think, for like $349, thereabouts, $399, would hit the market running.
Yeah, if they could, if they could have a handheld that locally plays things, but also will play cloud, but would install things. I think one thing that would probably be good is if they could have like a 1080p device. And it would, whether it's some kind of streaming or a local mixed, sort of have the mechanics of it. I don't know how that would work. In my head, I've got something, because what they would, one promise of the Xbox One and all the cloud storage and all this kind of thing, or the cloud servers, was things like Crackdown 3. You were meant to be able to destroy the whole city once. In one go kind of thing, because they would have the power of the cloud computing it.
Yeah.
And so if you could somehow share it, the processing, if somebody has a decent internet connection, I think they could have quite a powerful device. It's not quite at the level, I don't think the hardware, the hardware is available to have it at the level of the Series S. But it's not ready for release, kind of thing. And you're getting the heat out of the system and having a screen and the power. I mean, you've had the MSI Claw that's come out and has pretty much been slated. Apparently, it doesn't work very well. It's got an Intel chipset, and yet it's been updated. It's still not working well. The battery life is rubbish. Obviously, we're getting the Ally, but they're keeping the same processor, but with just a bigger battery. And so, there's a lot of things that Microsoft have to do very well, and I think they know it. They know they've got to get handheld right, because otherwise, they will get beaten by Nintendo. People are willing to pay full price because it's got Zelda, because it's got Mario,
and I think they have to sneak it in between now and the release date of the Switch 2, because if that Switch 2 is done correctly and has backwards compatibility, then they're releasing the Switch 2 at a time where it jumps in before the next generation of PlayStation, before the next generation of Xbox, and it wins.
I think if Microsoft have got, they've got the possibility of having, the reason why the Steam Deck has done so well is because it is a computer. That's all it is. It is the Steam Deck, but it's a computer. But it is two devices in one. If you want to tinker with it, I am a tinkerer. I've got all sorts of things installed on it. I haven't created any of those things, so I still don't know how to use the console very well, kind of thing. And I have to look things up. but I do tinker with it. And I have had problems that I have solved myself. Or you could just keep it in gaming mode, only install games through that, only install verified games. Don't do that. And you can have a console experience. And if Microsoft bring out this thing that's locked to Games Pass or has I don't know what it stands for, but the UWP store, and that's it. People are just going to go, no. They've got to have it an open system. And I don't know how willing the higher-ups would be about that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the other thing you've got is Game Pass works on the Nintendo Switch.
Game Pass works on the Steam Deck. It's cloud only. But I think one thing that was rumoured at one point was that Microsoft, I think hinted at it as well, or actually openly said it. The problem is that what's his name, Gabe Newell doesn't like Microsoft. Is that Microsoft wanted to have Game Pass on Steam, so that all the games that were on Game Pass. So, but I think that would mean that they would have to give some money to Steam.
Yeah.
So how that would work, I don't know. But yeah, I think Game Pass will come to other devices, other platforms. I think so.
I think it's inevitable. I see the big three all having their own streaming apps that go on all the different devices within a few years.
So what? Microsoft becomes the software, and yeah, I mean, obviously they would get licensing fees from, it'd be like, right, you have Game Pass on your device, and you would get a certain amount of money for each subscription that was done through your device, or maybe through downloads or people playing on your device. Because otherwise, Sony are going to go, you just want to put something on our devices that gets us no money and stops people buying games on our devices. No.
I don't think it's going to happen that way. I think PlayStation will open an app whereby you can access your game streaming directly to your mobile phone, directly to your tablet, and it will work properly and not the crap they've got out now. And I think Xbox Game Pass will just be on everything, apart from Sony and Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, I mean, they'll just have to have a fee like Google and iOS currently have.
Yeah.
It'll just be.
And I think Nintendo will just do their back catalogue. I think they'll just let everyone be able to access. It'll be a Nintendo version of Steam.
But then at the moment, Nintendo have become this successful by selling the same games on each platform.
Yeah.
Now, granted, and like I said off air, they have got the Nintendo Online where you get access to many older games, but then they also charge for a lot of things that you might have bought on the Wii or whatever. And obviously that is going back quite a few generations, or two generations, 3 generations. I don't know. So okay, they're not compatible or whatever. But if I can emulate something on a Steam Deck quite easily, or if I can emulate things on my phone, why aren't you just emulating and going, oh, you own this digitally from Wii U or whatever? There you go. And that's what Xbox have done well. I think Xbox have gone, oh, you owned that on the Xbox 360. Cool. You've still got it. And that's two. I've got games that I've owned 2 generations ago, and I still own them.
Well, I think that's what's happening now with Nintendo on the Switch account. What you get on your Nintendo account since the Switch stays with you forevermore.
Fingers crossed. I mean, they would be crazy, I think, to not allow the Switch 2 digital purchases to transfer over.
Yeah. And apparently the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, but again, who knows? I mean, it's all rumours, but
yeah. Well, I mean, the cartridge slots hopefully will be there. So it won't only be, yes, it's backwards compatible if you buy the game in this format. Yes, you can buy Tears of the Kingdom for the third platform, but the second, no, it was Breath of the Wild for the third platform. Because apparently they've been using Breath of the Wild as a demonstration for the Nintendo 2 behind the scenes. So that will be on the new platform. So whether or not they'll go, yeah, you can have it if you buy it again.
Apparently, there's a new Mario game based on the graphics of the movie. There's a new Mario game linked to that. So
I mean, Super Mario Wonder was a fantastic looking game. The fact that they're still making such beautiful looking games on the Switch. That's what, 8 years old now, something like that, maybe 9.
Well, Super Mario Kart is their biggest selling game, along with Splatoon. So, I mean, I think Splatoon 3 was a bit rubbish, but apparently we're going to see another Mario Kart game.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think it's very much like the arcade.
I think the one thing that they've probably learned from Mario Kart 8 is that people will buy tracks and characters. So they'll probably come out with, a bit like Microsoft have done with Forza Motorsport, and just go, right, here's the game. It's got 2 tracks and 10 players, 10 drivers. And then there'll be DLC, possibly some free, possibly some not free. Or they do like they do with the Mario Tour app, where certain levels are free at certain points. Like this week it's Rainbow Road. Next week it's this one's free. But if you want to play them all permanently, you've got to buy them. So
yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I guess time will tell. Next year is going to be a very interesting year for gaming. Yeah.
So also, Alan Wake 2. There's DLC out for it now. Yay! I can go back and be terrified by Cynthia, whatever her name is. Oh God, she was terrifying. But the only terrifying game that I have played recently and enjoyed. Apparently it's got characters from other Remedy games and other bits of Alan Wake. So yeah, that's out now. Apparently, I think it dropped yesterday night. It's the TV show that's in the game. I can't remember what it's called. Night Springs, I think.
So you're downloading that immediately, of course.
I have started the download because I had removed it from my Xbox because I played through it. There was some extra scenes released, but what I did, I was not in a place where I could watch them quickly or find them quickly. I hadn't got the save, so I just watched them on YouTube. And there was only a little bit. Didn't make too much difference. But no, yeah, I shall be playing this DLC. Possibly in my 24-hour stream. Although
it's coming soon.
Hang on, no, I won't be able to because I'm playing on PC. And although I can play it on Game Pass, this is a particularly powerful PC, so probably don't want to play a very graphically demanding.
You can play it on your crappy Android phone. Don't worry about
it. But I can't stream to Twitch from. Oh, actually, no, I can stream to Twitch from my phone. But
so I guess it brings us just to one last question that we haven't spoken about before we finish. What have you been playing this week?
What have I been playing? What's it called? Rolling Hills Sushi Bot.
Good.
It's a very simple, really simple cooking management game. Where you just have a little world. There might be more things. I've played it for about 3 hours, maybe 4. And there might be other things that unlock because there is a bus stop. So there might be other places you can go to. But yeah, no, it's been all right. It's basically my son wanted to play it and he was sitting around. So I started playing it, and after he went to bed, I was like, I'll just carry on playing that. So yeah, it was good. What else have I been playing? I was trying to. Humanity still.
Okay.
I've been playing Humanity, and such a good game. I really do like that game. It is Lemmings for the modern era because it dropped on my birthday. And yeah, so I have also installed the Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. I haven't started playing that. I did start playing Octopath Traveler 1, but then they removed it from Game Pass. But now the second one has come on. They've brought the first one back. So you can play Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, which are both fantastic Square Enix RPGs. Because I think Microsoft and Square Enix have sort of made up nowadays. I don't think they ever fell out, but I think Square Enix were very much in Sony's core. But I think they've made friends now. Whether that involved a lot of money, I don't know. Also, well, one thing that I've got my wife into because she loves a bit of Overcooked, and so Moving Out 2 came out. Now the first one was very simple. You had to move things out, and they've upped the crazy a bit in this one. So you have to move things in. You have to go around farms and catch animals, and so it's got lots of very different levels. It's very much looks like your Overcooked type of style game, but it's you move things out, and it's got some quite good accessibility features, which mean that you can make it quite easy. Which my wife absolutely hates the fact that you can do that. And she was doing a couple of levels the other day after my stepson had started playing, and she was like, "Oh, we've done this really well." And I was like, "When you load up the next level, press X." And she's like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "It's the accessibility options." She's like, "I don't want any of those on." And she pressed X, and there was about 3 or 4 of them on because my stepson had put them on. And she's like, "Oh, for God's sake, this is why I've been doing so well."
Oh, bless her.
So yeah, because she was playing with my son, so it made it nice. You can adjust it basically to your needs. You can either where the things that you've got to chuck into a lorry disappear when you chuck them in, or whether you've got to fit them all in. And then once you complete the level, then you get these extra stars that mean you like extra missions, objectives. And it's good fun. And then it unlocks into different lands. So you have like a fantasy land, a candy land, and stuff like that. And so it's moving out. If you enjoyed the first one, but a little bit more crazy. And then I also touched on Galactica, which is basically theme hospital or 2 Point hospital in space. And that's the only way I can describe that, because that is what it is.
You've been busy this week.
It is Galactica is 2 Point hospital in space, literally. I don't know if it's by the same people. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just a really total rip-off. So I don't know whether I'm just having a look. The Cult Games. Here we go. I'm just no. They didn't make 2 Point. They just made Tempopo, Go-Go Town, and Poltergeist. So they've just completely ripped off 2 Point Hospital.
And why not?
And why not? Great game. And Galactica, it seems all right so far. If you like 2 Point Hospital, you'll love Galactica. That's what I've been playing.
Well, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 still.
Oh, yes, of course. I forgot you started playing that. How are you getting on?
Yeah, loving it. Yeah, I don't quite know how far I am along. It's just all molded into one, but I'm enjoying it. Graphically, it's amazing.
It's just getting through that first prologue slog, really. I've seen a lot of people online being, I played for 2 hours and I was just bored by it. I'm like, do you know what? That first prologue is quite boring.
I've done that. But
once you got through that, you can just explore, and it's an open world.
But I'm enjoying it. And then, so, there's we've got a plug and play Space Invaders. Someone bought me years ago. So I got it out of the loft and along with the Oya Ouya, which I happened to find.
Yeah.
I forgot I had 2 controllers for that. Anyway, we decided to do a Space Invaders challenge. My kids have never played Space Invaders. This is the original arcade version.
Okay.
My God, it's hard. I forgot
Yeah.
how hard Space Invaders is.
Yeah,
I couldn't get past the first level at all.
when you first start, you're like, this is really easy. But then,
it's not.
It's not.
No. So we were playing that anyway. We all got a bit bored after about 18 tries of trying to get past the first level. We all enjoyed it. So we'll be playing that some more. And after that, still been emulating stuff on the iPad.
Nice.
With the Pro Controller. Been playing Aladdin on the Super Nintendo.
And that's a tough one as well, isn't it?
It is. I mean, graphically, it's not as good as the Mega Drive version, but I prefer, because obviously that was done by Disney on the Mega Drive, whereas the other one was Virgin Interactive. So it didn't have the same quality, same draw. And we've been playing Star Wars Phantom Menace, Game Boy Advance version, which is a little bit of a 3D-esque lightsaber battles, things like that. It's a bit lame, but still. And what else have we been playing? GTA on the PSP.
PSP, is that the Chinatown Wars?
Yeah. No, hang on. It is. Let me just get it on the screen. If my laptop would allow. GTA.
Liberty City Stories?
Yes, that's the one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Now, from what I can gather, you can just get down to... You don't have all the missions. You can just free roam and get on with things. I think that's what my son was telling me earlier. But it's a really good game. I'm not a fan of the violence with the kids, but my son's 14 now, so he's got to get himself prepped for going out in the real world. But yeah, it's okay.
So you had Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, and then Chinatown Wars. I don't know if you played Chinatown Wars. It was like an overhead one, like the first 2 Grand Theft Auto games. No. Very good. It's a very good game. I'd highly recommend it if you got them on the PSP. I think you could get it on quite a few. I think they even had it on. I want to say the Nintendo DS. Probably. I think, and I think eventually it was released on mobiles, but that obviously had the touch screen.
A bit like Driver, really, from the top-down look of it.
No, Driver, as in like PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah.
PlayStation 1 game was a 3D game. It was like...
what was the top-down level one?
That was GTA.
It was.
Yeah. GTA 1 and 2 were top-down games.
That's it, yeah.
GTA 3 was the first 3D one. And then when you had GTA 4 came out, that you had Liberty City Stories come out on... Or the Grand Theft Auto Liberty City or episodes from Liberty City? Oh, hang on. It was Grand Theft Auto 4, then had the DLC because it had the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost of the Damned.
Right.
And I think what they did, they released those as Liberty City Stories, I think, or episodes from Liberty City, I think. Hang on, let me see if I can just find out episodes from redirects from episodes list. No. Just trying to find out what it is. Compilation. There we go. No, still can't find out what it is. But yeah, I think So yeah, if you like the original Grand Theft Auto 2, then you'll like Chinatown Wars. But Liberty City Stories was good. I found the 3D ones on the PSP a bit empty, like because I was playing them when GTA 4 and then GTA 5 was out, and you'd go into these games and there'd be a couple of people walking along the street, whereas the GTA 4 and 5 on home consoles just felt more alive. Yeah. Not to say they weren't good games; they were good games, but I don't think they hold up to the home console versions as much. But on the PSP, the fact that you could play GTA walking to school or on the bus or on the train was just amazing. So there you go.
Lots been going on.
Lots been going on. There is also the Ubisoft show the PC gaming show that we are recording before or as they are going on. So we will talk about them probably next week. There's loads of games that we didn't talk about. We've got Civ 7. You got the Batman VR game, Fragpunk, Mecha Break, Nothing Is Forever. I know I did talk about that, didn't I? Fallout 76 DLC, WoW DLC or WoW expansions, Expedition 33. Sea of Thieves stuff. Flintlock. Yeah, I mean there were so many games. Cuff Bust, that was a good one by the same guy who did Choo Choo Charlie. But right, we'll talk about maybe these over the next few weeks. I will keep this little notebook and maybe we'll chat about some of them in weeks to come. So we chatted about it earlier, but 6th of July, probably midday, my 24-hour stream, and most likely at some point we would find a game that Tom and Martin can play.
We will be there.
Rocket League for Martin, so maybe have me and you versus Martin on Rocket League.
Yeah, I better practicing.
Because he'll kick our butts, probably.
Maybe we can find a way of playing the original Mario Kart on PC. Online.
I think you could probably LAN it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's your homework this week, Duncan.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you've got Steam Decks and whatnot, haven't you? Anyway, so 6th of July.
Be there.
More details to come up. We'll put on the Facebook page most likely. It is a Tiltify link, which Tiltify, set up all the charity stuff. And it will all be for Cancer Research UK. Mm-hmm. That's the one I chose because I did lose my mum to the big C. 6th of July. And
get sponsoring people.
Yeah. Anything else, Mr. Tom?
Everything for this week.
That's everything. Right. Well, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And thank you for the review. I was going to say his name, but let's have a look. Somebody gave us a review, and I just wanted to say thank you because it was a really nice review. Right, there you go. There's the podcast. 3 reviews. Leighton Mark. There you go. Also Mark Leighton. Oh, there you go. And there you go. Oh, and simply us. And Mr. Michael Nerney has reviewed us as well. Thank you very much. So thank you, Leighton Mark, and hope you enjoyed episode 47. And on that note,
till next week.
And subscribe. Till next week. Bye.
Bye.